Hello and welcome to Fixing South Sudan, your ideas for building the new nation. I am Adingor. Hello and welcome to Fixing South Sudan, your ideas for building the new nation. I am Adingor. This week on Fixing South Sudan, the Ministry of Roads and Bridges inaugurates the repair of the Juba Bridge. And with us to speak about this development is Mr. Peter Atem Ngor, the Managing Director of Rhino Stars Construction Company. The journey has been long and he can now tell us. Our pleasure to welcome him back to Fixing South Sudan. Welcome, how are you?
Thank you, Madingor.
So it wasn't an easy process. Tell us the journey towards the repair of the bridge.
Yeah, thank you, Madingor. It is a long journey, and when the bridge broke in October, and it is a lot of tasks and too difficult. And that time I thank the SPLA forces to take risk to the bridge to inform us engineering corps when the bridge broke at night. And engineering corps tell us the bridge, one side of the female is broke. And I come here to inspect, I got it. I said, I informed the minister, and I said, close the bridge right away. I later organized for the take over to make the trouble of the vehicle on the both sides, how to handle the bridge. They organized it for engineering corps and MI, non-security, and traffic to control the bridge. And I thank them what they did. And it is a long journey. We suffer a lot. And the work, everyone who work on the bridge is suffer so much. And I appreciate the type of South Sudan taking the responsibility of the bridge. It not is a long way. We try to bring that bridge from by sea. When you by sea, it would take long. We make a shortcut by air. Before by air, we call the minister tell us to bring the asphalt from the UK, and they came here, and engineer come from UK, Stephen, and inspect the bridge 1, bridge 2. At the impact, they brought the right material. They went back there and showed the right material. The material are here. When you take time, when you take by sea, it can come maybe in April. But when you take by air, it can come quick. We take by air is easy. We try by air, not easy. We try.
More costly.
It's more costly by sea, but by air it's too high. But it's risky, but we take the risk. It's not easy. And I talk with the Minister of Road. By air is the option number 1. To come through Nairobi or through Entebbe, because the insurance, the car could appear to come to South Sudan. And the minister told us, it is another way, let us bring to land in our land. So anyway, it took a long time to negotiate. We lost January and come on Feb 14. And come through Egypt, from UK to Egypt. And I thank ambassador of UK a lot to coordinate, to tell us, to talk, to convene to another cargo in UK. South Sudan is safe, come back here, and it's a wonderful thing. The British ambassador work a lot.
So when we talk about the repair of the bridge, it's a celebration. What are we celebrating?
No, we are celebrating of the phase 1. The bridge to be funded by the government of South Sudan, 100%. We must celebrate that one. 2, the bridge done by South Sudanese. 18 engineering corps, 18 civilian, and now come 36. And the other people. And that's why we finished the bridge successful. There one guy, when I went to final, one guy told me we don't have a capacity. And the one anti support, they said South Sudan don't have capacity. It is better to be beat by a big lion than to be beat by so many rats. That word, it broke my heart. The way I try to make sure we make that bridge without failing. And now we are fixing everything now, right? When you go there, it is overhauling, complete overhauling.
You know, this is the only bridge on the Nile, and the importance was underscored during the time when this site was being repaired. How difficult was it for the public?
You know that sometimes the public are not patient. Some people want to come, don't wait on the line, want to go to Krodo, want to go to Gumba quickly, or want to go to the work, but unfortunately we said that you have 1 hour this side and 1 hour this side, or 30 minutes this side, 30 minutes. But some people come by force, and it's a difficult task, we got it, and too much suffering, because the bridge takes long. When the South Sudanese are taking patience, the bridge can take 1 month only. But because the crane in that side and to go other side, and the security go there, the MI go there and collect and stop the vehicle and traffic, and stop the vehicle, and our crane can take the material this side, take in that side. Two, we have a lot of problem of material. Where do we put the material? The old land on the bridge, on the security have been grabbed by the individual. Like this side you show there, been grabbed by someone. Here, we took by the water, by state. Here, we took by the community. And the bridge, they know where you can put material. Do I take our time? How to locate the material? Do I put the bridge on this side, allowed by the MI to put that thing, because it's somewhere land, but MI allowed us to put the thing that side, and I told the minister to put it there. And you take the material to that side, so what material to be this side, eastern side of Nile. But it is too difficult of South Sudanese. They deny all the security of the bridge. They deny the space to put a thing. And this thing you cannot pick South Sudan. When you don't, the government don't have access, don't have a land to put a material for the government.
Let me go back to that theme of fixing. You were mentioning people were doubting that you had the capability, but you are saying it took a local company, Rhino Star, with the cooperation of the army to build this. So this idea of fixing South Sudan is not going to be built by foreigners. It has to be built by South Sudan.
Absolutely. You know, when you build with your own community, it is better. And when I wish our government of South Sudan to listen, to put a lot of effort to organize forces to fix South Sudan, to allow the organized forces, give them material, give them some work, they can fix. And the local company, when you go to some places now, we are taking over. It is a process our leader don't understanding. But now the understanding, South Sudanese can build by the Southerners. And this is why I appreciate it. It is a good cooperation. Now, anyone who died, who cannot do it, who did it. And I did bridge like this, about 38, across South Sudan. In Tumbra I have 3, Boro they have 7. And this one we have, Toro have 9. Many places we build a lot of bridges. Nobody is seeing, but now people are seeing in Juba town, in the heart of the city. And that's why John Garang said that we are going to build this country war army. And this is why the wonderful thing I did it. When I did it, not me, it is you and anyone who contribute that bridge to be fixed.
What do you say about the road ahead? So this side is fixed, but we also have the other side.
Yeah, this one being stopped because of the corona. Like this one, we are working our own. Because when the president is your degree, no the two cannot get together. But we make this one because we read our workers here to make that work to be done. Because it is a development. When you don't do this one, it's more than corona. People don't think it's more than corona. And development must continue. When we talk about the corona is okay. You can come there. But when this bridge not been fixed, it is dangerous. And we are going to fix after 1 month, according to the Minister of Road.
So that means when this one is inaugurated Thursday, the both sides will be in use until you restart the work again.
Yeah, of course. Anyone you can enjoy. Dol kan gitu tol bakir mau setem tani. Bugul tol bakir waye. Because that time when the president of the council minister, the bridge has been completed by the local company, and the council minister appreciate effort of the local company and the Ministry of Road, and this is why I appreciate the president. I'm happy.
What is your advice to the road users who will be using it? What do you say to them?
My advice, let them listen, organized process, because we are going to give them some seconds. Because when you come right side, drive slowly, be careful. One vehicle in one span. When it comes span number 2, that vehicle can come. Because you cannot go 3 vehicles at once. No, not allowed. And this thing, it can be done by the security organized force to impose the law to protect the bridge. This is my advice to road user. Let us take that bridge. It's ours. They're not on the bridge again.
You mentioned the interruption of the work by coronavirus pandemic, and precautions are being taken. How is coronavirus going to affect your work since the spare parts will not be coming, or have they arrived?
His spare parts will come on date 4 to Mabasa, in Nile to be in date 8 in Juba. After date 8, we'll give our community to take some rest, and our army to take rest again, because they take for 3 months here, from December up to April. It is a lot, they suffer a lot. We want to give them 1 month. After 1 month, when there is corona or there is no corona, we must do the bridge. It is to conflict that side.
There are 2 developments that are worrisome. One is the coronavirus, which has sealed the world. The other one is the major drop in oil prices. And what the coronavirus pandemic has shown the world is that if you don't have what it takes to survive from within, now is the time to build up the local capacity. That is one. The other one is the oil drop. Our economy is dependent on the oil. As a businessman and a local business person, what will you say to South Sudanese policymakers so that we look inward and not outside?
You know, my advice to our leaders, let us learn. We don't depend on someone. Let us depend for ourselves. 2, let us issue something called volunteerism. To volunteer ourselves, this way we can build this country, and we can fix South Sudan. The small little who got it, let us put it in the health. We improve our Juba teaching as well as many places. That's the more we got it, let us, we cannot live in excess again. Let us use that money a proper way. That small money comes. Some small drop to development. Some small drop to health and food security. Because we are landlocked. When we are landlocked, let us tell our people how to work, then we depend for others. This is why my advice to the government of South Sudan, let us think back. We brought country from nowhere. When they still fought for 21 years, it fought without money. I know our economy is dropped 0, oil is dropped to 0, and this thing is affect our government. Even the peace can affect the peace, but let us try our hard to put the unity of South Sudan first priority and volunteer them. You know, Madingor, people of South Sudan, they believe everything, Akuma, government. There's something you can do, like this bridge here. When we bring by hair, we borrow money from the bank. We take the high risk and to bring that thing in our land because it's our government. Let our own government pay the money to the bank direct. It's good, I appreciate it. That thing is supposed to be done by South Sudanese people all. You risk the money, risk the country. But don't put the money, no, my money, that money, I want to lose it. These are not your money, these are public money. Let them go.
Everyone should have a heart for the country.
Yeah, because anyone that has the country, some that have heart for the country, is somebody who not fought for this country. But when you fought for this country, and your colleague fall in the battle, in the SPLA when they are fighting 21 years, you must call back how to fix South Sudan. That's the more help we can unite together.
Have you fixed the bridge or have you just repaired it?
No, we fix it and we repair it. And now when you come here, it's beautiful. Not me, it is the government who fixed the bridge.
Mr. Tim, thanks for coming to Fixing South Sudan.
Thank you, Madingo.
The Minister of Roads and Bridges, Simon Mijok Majak, opened Juba-Nimule Bridge, which linked Juba and East African countries. The Juba-Nile Bridge is composed of two adjacent 252 meters length over the White Nile, Juba-Nimule Road, and it provides the only access over the River Nile to South Sudan. It was built in 1972 during the regime of General Jafar Nimeri. The Minister of Finance and Economic Planning, Salvatore Gremobiorgit, urged the citizens to follow traffic orders along the bridge.
Open a very important bridge which links the East Nile with the West Nile through Juba and also the East African countries. And therefore, its use is only for the people of South Sudan, but also for the East African community, of which we are members. And we hope when the other spare parts comes to complete the second phase, this one will be very, very good for us and also good for our economy. Bridges and roads are the one which links the business and the community, such that the goods are taken from one point to another point in a very, very fast way. Otherwise, when the bridge was broken here, it takes the businessmen so many hours. They have to wait here until the first cars which come has to go through. That is a loss to the business community. And also, it is a waste of time for our officials who are living on the other side of the River Nile. And now that we have started with this phase 1, we are hopeful that the phase 2 will follow soon. We thank the British government for their support through their embassy here, being represented by the Chargé d'Affaires. We also thank the Ministry of Roads and Bridges and also the Ministry of Transport, the engineers who have done this job very well, especially the Rhino company, which is now constructing this bridge. He has been doing this wonderful work in other areas, even when some areas like Bor was cut up, and also he went even up to the Sikarubek and then Marindi. Marindi was also having some problems with this cut of the roads by the heavy rains, no repairs for so many years. So Rhino company did their best. We are hopeful that the usage of the bridge, as the other speakers said before, should be respected. This is an engineering business. It is not something that you just think that I can do it without any effect. The reason why the tonnage is regulated is to preserve the long life of the bridge. Otherwise, if it is not done, the long life that will not prevail. It will soon, after 5 years, it will soon get off on our way. Like the Nimule Juba Road, it was done without the consultant. The usage now, it is just within a few years, Juba Nimule Road is now just like a new destroyed road. Because the way it was done, there was no consultant to see what is going on. There was no supervision from the Ministry of Roads and Bridges, and it's only the contractor who was doing his business without other stakeholders. It is always good to make sure that any engineering work, all the stakeholders must be involved. The Ministry of Finance is going to continue to support the Ministry of Roads and Bridges to make sure that whatever is needed here, we will foot the bill. That is the duty of the Ministry of Finance. And the work of the field work is for the Ministry of Roads and Bridges and the Ministry of Transport. And so with this, I will stop here and make sure that the Ministry of Roads and Bridges should be on our heels every day to support him whenever he needs any support. And thank you very much.
Speaking to the media, the Minister of Roads and Bridges, Simon Mijok Majak, said the bridge cost about 1.9, which was released by the government, and Rhino company released about 770 sterling pounds for the renovation of the bridge.
You are most welcome to this event. And first and foremost, let me thank His Excellency Yaral Salva Kiir Mayardit for his directives when we raised the report about this bridge that the Ministry of Roads is managing a critical challenge. And as our engineers discovered some failures, it was raised to a national security threat, which was taken over by His Excellency the President, and he was following day and night the concern of this bridge and other bridges in the country. So my advice to the public and all the road users and the people of South Sudan in particular, because this bridge links us with East Africa community and our backdoor of import. I'm urging our public to own this bridge. I'm asking for a sense of ownership. This is your bridge. Yes, it is managed by the government, but this is a facility, a public facility, and that is why it is being secured by the top security in the country, the army and the police and the security. So you take it as yours. Another advice is that we should use it responsibly, because some of the congestion happen because of impatience. You just want to bypass. Please own it and use it responsibly. The third advice, let's go for production. As you can see, this lane was much affected because we are importing heavy trucks and heavy goods from East Africa. Compared to outbound lane, is not much damage because the truck comes from East Africa, load it, and they go back empty. And this is a message to the youth of South Sudan. And the country is 85% youth. So let's find a way to go for production and productivity. Whatever production, you can see all the population around us in the region, they are producing food for us. And on a daily basis, we ask for dollars to import. Is it not a shame on us? So take this opportunity so that you produce and the government tax. And from your tax, the maintenance of roads and construction of new roads will happen. And this is what happened even in UK. These are tax payers. The oil will be in the history like the oil of North Sea in UK. You are not depending on it. But at the beginning, people were, the Netherlands and the UK were almost addicted to gas of Shell. So let's take it as a success. We have gone through it, and we are going to maintain more bridges like the Juba River bridges in Wow, and we continue to construct new bridges. As you can see here, our back here, the new bridge is showing up. It is being the Freedom Bridge. So our language of new construction is Juba River, and is going to happen very soon, the launching, as well as efforts are underway to start Malakal. This is the mega bridges in the country. Also for the road users, efforts are underway. I'm not going into details, but the details are now, since the finance is with us here, efforts are underway to maintain Juba-Nimule Road and the rest of the roads in the country. Some challenges have been said. One of them is congestion. I have seen our traffic have been doing a lot, and even it can go beyond respect. He's in uniform, and he's serving you. So it needs a lot of education. That let's adhere to traffic regulations. You will get it through very quick. Let's avoid abusive language. Also, we have the issue of security of the bridge. We have so many security organs here, on top the engineering corps, who have been working with Rhino. This fixing, we were guided by a UK consultant, but most of the work were done manually by South Sudanese, whether under Rhino Company or our army. And they have been doing a lot on Bo Road, on Torid Road for the last 5 years. So the question of security is a top because this is the national security of the country. We have another challenge of land. It is a country of almost 700,000 square kilometers, but still we are congested in a very small place. I thank the Chief Administrator of Juba that we will be working closely, as you can see, and the public can see there is no space. The whole space has been taken over. And we want this thing to change because this is the future of the country. As you can see, I can see the SSPDF Engineering Corps, even their heavy equipment, they are squeezed into the corner. What will happen if something danger happens? How would they use their equipment in these densely places? So this issue of land shouldn't be a problem for us. Let's avail facilities to our national government so that we render services. We have another challenge concerning us. That is the Lagaway Bridge. And we are going to handle it in the ministry, not only here in Juba, but also in Nimuli, so that we save the investment on roads and bridges. We have the movement of heavy trucks. And I mean heavy trucks, those who are loaded with wet sand and aggregate. This is what we mean. We don't mean the fuel tanker, because the fuel tanker or any tanker carrying goods, it has so many tires. So as they will spread the load on many decks. But for the lorry carrying sand, there is too much concentration on the decks, and these decks have been increased the capacity to 35%. So we want it to be kept intact and in good condition, because this area will turn one day to a tourist site, because this bridge, as we finish with Freedom, another major painting and maintenance will happen, and will be used only for pedestrian and small trucks and any tourists who would like to come. Because I'm sure in UK, they manufacture, but they have gone far ahead to other type of bridges. So for those who have not seen the past, they will see the past of 50 years in form of this strong bridge we are opening today. Thank you very much for the public, the media, my colleagues, the ministers, the administrators from Juba and now Central Equatoria, and the British Embassy for the facilitation, our representative of Defense and Interior and the security, and everybody who have joined us. Let me pass my apology. We have breached the guideline, but God forgive us.